What is a Keystone movie? With every season, it grows clearer. A cinematic echo ringing through the halls of film history. But why is that something we should care about? Armed with a new perspective, the Copycats will dive headfirst into these questions and more this season for Freaky Wednesday. Hello and welcome to Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. I, of course, am your host, Zach, and he, of course, is your other host.
Clicker, clatter, Simpson. It's me, Clicker, clatter, Simpson.
So, let me ask you.
Hi, buddy.
Let me ask.
How you doing?
Let me ask you a question.
So good.
Let me ask you a question.
I got it. Okay, here we go.
You think you're ever going to run out of
Clicker, clatter, Simpsons?
gibberish names?
No. It's like an ebb and flow of nonsense.
I think
in my noggin, out my ears, through the mouth.
I'm going to tell our listeners to go back to season 1.
Nope.
Listen to the Time Crimes episode where you go into detail on how you don't like your name.
Oh, did I bitch about it back then?
Yeah. That was it. That was the episode where you complained about how you don't like your name.
Yeah, the problem with having early Alzheimer's is that I don't remember any of the seasons. So if I say anything over and over again, it's not a repeat. It's that I forgot what I talked about. So I'll apologize. Probably apologize again next season. Maybe even this season. Who knows? It's, it only gets worse.
Yeah. So how you doing?
I have something I'm just going to throw at you.
All right. Is it a ball?
There's no backstory. No nothing. Kroger brand internet. What do you think?
Kroger brand internet, like private select internet?
No, just go. You tell me. What is it?
I don't know. It's like that K-Mart blue light special internet from back in the day. Do you remember that?
No. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't make this up.
So we were teens in the era of dial-up internet and right when broadband was starting to happen. But there were all these free internet providers that you could get that would have an ad on it, or you would get a CD in the mail that had 5 free hours of internet or something, and they wanted you to sign up for their service or whatever.
Was I around for this?
Yeah, it's wild.
Huh.
Yeah, I remember using a lot of AOL CDs for internet when we didn't have internet for a little bit.
What does that mean? You put it in the disk drive and you just have internet then?
I guess.
What?
Yeah.
Something about this doesn't seem right.
It's very strange. But so one of the providers was literally K-Mart, the defunct department store K-Mart.
I was going to say, okay, they need backstory on what a K-Mart was.
The defunct, Walmart killed K-Mart. K-Mart was the big thing in the 80s and 90s.
I remember when the first Walmart in town showed up in Cincinnati, and my dad was talking about how it was a joke and there's no way they're gonna match Kmart. It was a big what is this bullshit? This new up and coming company moving to Ohio. That's what he didn't call it that, but I imagine
he did to me.
Probably what he
every time we saw him.
Probably what he thought.
Every time I saw your dad, he'd be like, we live in Ohio, and I was like, all right.
And every year when we would do taxes, and they asked if they wanted the $1 donation, and he would say, "Kiss my butt."
They can kiss my butt.
Yeah, I'm not giving you $1. You can kiss my butt. So that's how Jeff's gonna be remembered.
JP
is the guy who told a charity to kiss his butt over $1.
What charity though?
I don't know.
What was it
for? The kids, the ones that don't have hair.
I paid for enough kids. My own.
Well, that's good. You wouldn't donate. Don't.
No, I don't fucking donate.
On Jeffrey.
I don't donate. I said donut.
You don't donut. You don't.
I don't fucking donate because I'll go to a place. They do that shit now, and it does seem like a more recent thing, but they do that shit at you're at a drive-through and they're like, "Do you want to donate $1 to help the kids?" And you're like, "No, I don't want to give you, giant corporation, my money to donate and then write off a charitable donation," because that's what it is. It's the same thing as doing those fundraisers through Facebook. It's like, oh, for my birthday, let's raise funds for the animal shelter, you know?
What is Facebook? You mean Meta?
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, I can't. Clean it up. It's not a Meta. It's Meta. It's cleaner. That's my contribution to the world. Make sure that you put me in the movie.
Aaron Sorkin's going to write a movie about you.
Love it. I'm in. So Kroger brand internet, you took it to a different place than I was.
I mean, I think it existed.
Whoa, what happened at the end? You squozed it in. I liked it.
Well, because I was on the launch pad getting ready to take off with exists, but I know it doesn't exist anymore. So like at the very end, I tacked on ed. And
we got it. We got all that shit.
To change the tense of the word to past rather than present. You see?
Okay. What I was getting at,
my basement.
I was on an airliner, or I was on a plane, and while I was boarding,
on an airliner,
and when I was boarding, it said something about how they were sponsored by Clorox, and I'm like, I don't need to know that shit. Like, that is something that you 100% need to not tag on your airplane.
As we soared through the skies on an airship.
So I was taught, I think that's how it came
about. With the
about.
cleanliness of a bald man. Oh,
I'm like, I don't care if you use Clorox or Kroger brand cleaner. I was like, the only thing I don't want Kroger brand is, and I somehow brain farted, and I said internet. I don't want Kroger brand internet. Like, I don't. As that was my example. I don't think it landed, but the plane did.
The airship touched down safely.
I don't. The going back to originally, am I ever going to run out of nonsense? No, because my brain tells me what I think. I don't do this. I happen at people.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried, and even if I was, I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Do I sound relaxed? I'm not.
Yeah.
How you doing? You know what I was like? I guess going back, staying on the plane topic.
Yeah. What'd you watch on the plane?
Well, I mean, I put on Lost to make my girlfriend uncomfortable. Because I thought it was funny, and then I forgot how good of a show that is.
It's so good.
The intro is just about a plane crash, so I just kept turning her. Like, we had to do multiple flights, so I kept turning into her and talking about, what the other one's going to do when the one dies in the plane crash and the other one survives, kind of thing. So it got me thinking about Castaway. So I watched Castaway.
Oh, I haven't seen that in years.
Watched Castaway, and I was thinking, I'm like, how different of a do you think you could make a story where it's Tom Hanks? Same intro, he's, loves the FedEx job, and then the plane crashes and he gets stuck on the island, but he realizes that he can finally have sex with fish, which is his fetish no one knew about, and then the rest of the movie...
Was he Troy McClure?
I mean, that's a good reference, but the rest of the movie, it's just him being content being on this island where he's just fucking fish, right in the mouth.
Yeah, I
wonder, how many ideas, different versions of movies are pitched until they land the right one. If there's a lot of things no. It build up, crashes, but he just fucking loves these fish. I mean, loves them. Like, he has a couple at a time.
And loves the fish?
Yeah.
So it's like a relationship.
Because he's always, his big dream is to finally catch the tuna. Not because he's hungry and that'll feed him for days. He's just going to go to town on this fucking
That'll
tuna.
be his wife.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Do you even bother getting married on an island if you have plenty of fish to fuck?
I suppose there's no, officiant, so probably no.
Well, there's the volleyball.
Wilson. He has a name, sir.
I forgot.
Pastor Wilson.
I didn't watch the whole movie. I ended up, I'm not going to say what I did, but
Cranking
I ended
off
up
to a fish?
No.
Fucking a fish stick?
Not that, but kind of.
Fucking a fish stick.
I didn't fuck a fish stick. I'm not Tom Hanks.
So, in, production of that movie, they had to take I believe it was
take a
year.
Fish away from Tom
No, they had to
Hanks
take
when he was acting out.
They had to take a year break in the middle of shooting.
Didn't he get sick?
No, so Tom Hanks could lose all the weight that he needed to for the role.
Oh, I assumed they did that. He lost weight and then went into it and
no, they took a break in the middle of shooting, which is crazy. But in that gap, Robert Zemeckis, the director, made another movie. He took the whole crew and made another movie. Did
they just leave Tom Hanks there to make sure he
with Rita Wilson
of starving?
He took the crew because he wanted to make sure that he could maintain his crew for Castaway when he came back to finish the shoot. So he's like, okay, so we'll just do another movie in the meantime, so you don't get another job that prohibits you from finishing this movie that we're doing. And he made What Lies Beneath. Harrison Ford and
hey,
who is it? Michelle Pfeiffer, maybe.
It was. I'm gonna tell you something. I saw that and I don't remember anything about it.
Same.
Okay, we're both on the same page. I thought you were gonna yell at me about how I gave you information that doesn't go.
No. I saw it and I don't remember it. And yeah, exactly. And I recently listened to.
All I remember is your wife. That's it.
Yes.
Someone's suspecting something.
An icy bathtub.
Is that the only time Harrison Ford's ever done a horror flick?
I think it's more of a psychological thriller. I don't think he's done a horror.
Okay. I mean, well, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm fucking so sorry that I didn't say the exact right fucking. I'm getting tired. I don't want to yell.
Person?
I don't want to get yelled at you anymore. Just imagine that I yelled at you a lot.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Fucking better be.
I'm sorry I lost my cool.
Yeah, you did. Anywho, we should watch What Lies Beneath. I think it's like supposed to be good, actually.
You want to watch it now instead?
Yeah, we'll pause and we'll watch it.
Right.
And we're back.
I didn't pay attention to it the whole time.
Your wife.
Oh, that was a great part of that movie.
That was it.
Okay, that was good. Good.
Yeah, I think Robert Zemeckis has some solid films.
I call him Dr. Zoom.
I call him Dr. Zayas. Oh, so that is what I was going to say, is that I recently watched that episode of The Simpsons where...
Troy?
Is it Patty or Selma? It's Selma.
I don't think it matters.
Selma marries Troy McClure. But my favorite joke that I had forgotten about was that the Fat Tony sees Troy McClure and his like henchman goes, "Boss, I thought you said he was dead." And Fat Tony goes, "No, I said he sleeps with the fishes."
Yeah.
The Simpsons is so good.
Good old Phil Hartman. Poor guy.
Poor guy. Murdered by his wife.
Do you want to talk about what we did in this week? Like,
I don't know.
The movie-wise, not what we did. I did a bunch of stuff.
It was last week for me.
Oh.
I saw this movie a week ago.
Nice.
Over a week ago.
And then I canceled on recording.
Yeah, because you had a big business meeting about business.
I don't think that's true.
It is true. That absolutely is true.
Wait, that is true. Well, I don't want to talk about that because I like my job.
Let's get into the business meeting.
I want to keep my job. But yeah, I'll put it this way. I was at a really fancy restaurant, and I couldn't take my hat off because I had hat hair. So I had to wear a baseball cap at a business meeting.
The worst part is it was one of those beer hats.
Yeah, it was just the double koozie with the straws. Yeah, that was difficult to pull off.
Yeah, that's why you didn't pull it off. That's why you didn't pull it off.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, so I watched this movie, and it like the
worst... What is it, Zach? What's the movie?
Well, the worst part for me is that we record on Wednesday nights, so I usually watch the movie on Tuesday night.
Spoiler.
And I make my notes and do all that fun stuff, but I watched it on Monday last week, because I was going out of town on Tuesday to see a band.
What'd you see?
I saw Pet Symmetry, and Kalamasi.
Hang on. You're saying Symmetry, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking dumb.
No, it's good. They're really good.
I'm not saying they're not good. I'm saying that's dumb. I don't like that they tricked me.
No, it's good.
It makes you go, wait, what? Help.
It was a really good show. And we also saw, also playing with them was the Raccoons, which is
this shit's getting out of control.
Well, it's a Ramones cover band made up of members of other bands on the tour.
If you were going to say Raccoons, I'd been about it. But
no, and they just have like traffic cones on stage with them.
Hang on, though.
It was fun.
What if you Milli Vanilli'd the music with some raccoons playing the Ramones? That's money.
Yeah.
That's fucking license to print money. Cash, baby. Cash money records. Raccoons. I'm done. We can.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
No, so it was a good show. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's right. You went to the show.
I shot some video. Maybe I'll like cut something together and post it.
Hell yeah. Or you won't, and we'll move on.
So the movie,
freaky.
It's pretty freaky.
Can I just ask you before you get started how you felt?
You want to ask me?
Do we wait?
You can ask me. Go ahead.
Zach, how'd you feel?
I'd rather wait.
I'm down. Can I tell you?
I liked it.
Can I tell you?
Did you like it?
What Rotten Tomatoes said about this?
What did Rotten Tomatoes say?
83, higher than I thought it was going to be.
That's really good.
I was fucking surprised.
So Freaky from 2020. That's last year. Directed by Christopher Landon, who we know from
Happy Death Day
to
you.
Happy Death Day.
Did you do first one too?
He did them both.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
And this little picture is starring Vince Vaughn, Catherine Newton, who we loved in The Map of Tiny Perfect Things.
That's how I know her.
Katie Finneran, Celeste O'Connor, and Alan Ruck.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron.
Ruck.
Alan Ruck.
You looked at me like Cameron, like I knew. What's that mean?
Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, I don't care about that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But
good. Why was he... Okay, I better not jump in.
Probably the best.
Why was he a big piece of shit?
I don't know.
Didn't you not...
I was like, why is he such an asshole?
Did that not seem right?
It was unearned.
From the way they introduced him...
It was unearned.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Why was he harping on her specifically? They never really told that story.
Who knows? Yeah,
I don't get the character choice. Or not character choice, but the way they wrote his character.
Well, no, it's a character choice for sure.
It seemed like, for him not doing very much...
It was like they needed him to be a big prick.
He was Spin City.
Yeah, he was in Spin City.
And that's how I remember.
Stewart.
But yeah, after that, like for him not being in a whole lot that I'm aware of, like why did they shit on that actor?
Spin City was great. I thought, you know what? I thought he was going to be like her dad or something. Like when I saw him like in the cast, I was like, oh, maybe that's probably like her dad. But like, nope.
But little did you know,
do I know.
Wasn't there at all. He decided to up in death. To you. Death day to you.
To him.
So, spoiler: Vince Vaughn is the killer.
The butcher.
Oh wait, no, hang on. I gotta back up some.
Let's have a little synopsis.
You ready? After swapping bodies with the deranged serial killer Vince Vaughn, a young girl in high school discovers she has less than 24 hours before the change becomes a permanente.
So let me ask you a question.
I am going to ask you an answer.
Do you think that we fucked up by not making Friday the 13th be a freak simile?
I don't understand.
Because it was Friday the 13th and Freaky Friday, right?
Yeah.
So in this one, it's also Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So do you think it should have been a freak simile and we fucked up?
No.
Okay.
I didn't want to add any more, and we went in thoroughly about how I thought 10 was too much.
Yeah.
Add more, and I don't think that's any more important than the other guy.
What if we did something?
I think did the lead fuck a child or try to fuck a child is very important.
Okay, but that's not technically what we called it.
Let me look through my notes so you can hear me going through my notes.
Stop flipping your notepad in front of the microphone.
Well, they got to know that I have a lot
You're
of notes.
not a Foley artist.
Fucks a kid, says right there.
That's not what it's called.
That's what's written. So you tell me.
I did.
Guy.
I did.
Big man on campus.
Hey.
What are you going to do? Native American sounds? What are you, racist?
No.
You piece of shit.
You know, we watched Wind River last night.
Ooh.
Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
The fuck it is.
Okay, so it's Jeremy Renner is like a game warden on an Indian reservation.
Into it.
There's a murder, and Elizabeth Olsen is the FBI agent that gets sent to the reservation, and they're like investigating it, and it's really, really fucking good.
That's very interesting, and I think one day when we pick that to be the fucking movie that we talk about, we will spend more time on it. But you are getting so off the rails.
You asked me.
Off the rails already, young man.
You asked me.
Pretend I yelled at you hard.
You asked me for a movie recommendation, and I gave it, sir. Written by the same guy who did, the same guy who did Hell or High Water.
Okay.
So, same writer, and that writer, this was like his first like big director job. He directed it too. It's good. It's a good movie. Worth watching.
All right.
We'll put it on the list. Copycat recommendation.
Ding.
From your Keystone Copycats.
I'd allow a sound effect.
I took them off. They're not on the board anymore.
Ding.
I took them off.
Just wink and ding.
Bing.
I like the opening. I like the opening theme. It was suspenseful. You're like, ooh, okay. We're going right into classic thriller.
Yeah.
And I do the music if I could do that with my mouth, but I can't. So just imagine it's suspenseful. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah, like What Lies Beneath.
Had me at the music, lost me at the relics. When the kids are going through the intro and they're like, "Oh, my dad collects relics," you're like, fuck." Automatically, you're like, lazy writing.
Well, I thought it worked though.
I mean, for what they were doing. This is much like last week with the change up where I go, what message are you trying to convey? Sometimes I was a little bit lost on what direction this was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Like following Happy Death Day, I'm like, oh.
I think this didn't work as well as the Happy Death Day movies.
You did two good ones, yeah. I
think he was reaching a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because the movie
I don't know how to express this in the words, which is pretty important when you're on a podcast, but You say something. You say what you were going to say, and I'll come back.
Okay. What was the butcher going to use that knife for? Why did he specifically want that knife?
Yep, I know.
What was he going to use it for? I don't know. They never explained it, right?
To fill the void in the plot, to get as a plot device to move forward.
No, I feel like...
Why was he kind of doing it? Why was he kind of doing a Friday the 13th? Why was he stalking them? Like, the intro was like the new 2009 Friday the 13th.
I never saw it.
Okay, well, you've seen this movie, so you already seen it.
I've never seen this movie.
He's very similar to Jason. It seems like they're like,
yeah, he's
fuck
got
it,
the mask on.
Screw it. And it was kind of a modified hockey mask. And did he have superhuman strength? Because it seemed like he really did. Well,
he's also... Vince Vaughn is legitimately a really big dude. I think he's like 6'6".
But that doesn't mean you can do things like... I know, put your fist through the wall and then rip someone's body through.
No, it means that.
Oh, well then, fuck me.
Yes, please.
But some of the kill shots or the scenes, like when I guess he's practices it all day throwing that harpoon.
Yeah,
like that was one of them where I'm like,
vicious.
holy shit.
Where it's like that is a skill that you need to like hone, and if you don't have it, like man,
maybe he does that all
in that
fucking day long.
That creepy place that he lives.
I mean, the drug habitat.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Drug habitat. It's like a zoo, but it's just for different kinds of people that do drugs.
Okay.
I don't know what the abbreviation for that would be.
Yeah, all those murders at the top were just so like over the top and gory, and it was like they were trying to
Keech? What's it called? Keech? Kitsch?
Oh, Kitsch. Yeah, okay. Well, I did not.
I landed at the end.
Took you a while to get there.
It's all right. Sometimes you got to skip before you run.
Look.
Well, I don't think that's a thing, but you do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's fun to skip.
I think it really was just trying to like pay like homage to like slashers and be like, yeah we're doing it up. Like it's the trope. Like I think part of it is that like Christopher Landon kind of traffics in these like comedy horror kind of, like it's over the top. It's intentionally like there's funny moments. Like it has the humor to it. And I think he really is like, I think he's playing up the gore and like the vicious murders as part of like the comedy of it. Like it's so over the top.
Yeah, but I think he took a little too far because the bottle one, because with the knife when they showed the relic knife.
Yeah.
When the first kill, you're like, oh, he kills him with the knife. He's going to kill everyone with that knife because obviously he took it. And with the wine bottle, you're like, oh, shit. Like, that was pretty like,
dude, vicious.
That's ruthless. And then with the toilet seat, you're like, oh, that's a little comical, but it's still brutal.
Yeah.
And then the tennis racket, I'm like, nope, lost me. Where he snaps it in half, then sticks it back through her head. I'm like, no, that's goofy.
It was a little goofy.
It's too much. So I'm like, so once again, why didn't you just stick with the theme? Wasn't there another one in that series where it's more believable than the tennis racket?
Well, the running her through on that, the last one, like running her through on that like spear that he threw into the wall.
That's kind of a callback.
Yeah, no, that was I think that worked too.
It's the tennis racket,
and he doesn't get the knife until after he kills her.
Well,
that's when he gets the knife.
Yeah, but you think he has it before? I guess you're right. It just didn't seem like it played off very well at the end. But also the way the glass was shattered, I'm like, doesn't seem like you put your arm through that, but that's just me. That's me being critical, but I guess that's why you pay me, Zach.
I would never pay you for anything.
Pay me, Zach. That's what I meant. That's how I meant to say it.
No.
That's how you pay me, Zach.
You're an intern. You don't get paid.
Ooh.
I'll sign off on your college credit form.
This is a fucking Christian college. It's not going to count.
Yeah, that's right.
Some bullshit.
They're going to say we're, I don't know.
So I knew this was Vince Vaughn going in. You knew this was Vince Vaughn going in. But that didn't matter because Vince Vaughn has a very distinct walk. Like when he was walking away with the mask on, I'm like, well, that's just Vince Vaughn. Like I think
you can tell that it's not a stunt man.
I think anyone could have been like, hey, is that Vince Vaughn in this movie? Like that's clearly him walking.
Did you ever watch True Detective season 2?
I tried to watch it twice. I can't get through the whole thing.
He's the high point of that season.
I can't get through
the whole thing. He's so good in it. He's such a good like.
It's not that it's bad.
Mobster.
It's just not the third one, and definitely not the first one.
It's not what you want. Yeah, It's not what you want. The third one comes close to the first one. Like it's very good, and Mahershala Ali is so good in it.
Yeah,
so good.
So, I was wondering when Vince Vaughn was being so ruthless, I'm like, they gotta make him campy and silly when he becomes her. Like, that's
he
what
is
I'm like.
So good.
I'm like, that's what this movie is gonna be. It's gonna be comic relief. So then when he was doing it over the top, I'm like, oh, good. This is what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And I'm happy he delivered. That's why I kind of forget this movie, because it's not great in my eyes. That's why when I saw 83% Rotten Tomatoes, I'm like, oh, fuck, good for them.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm like, it's a little too back and forth. It's not really sure of itself.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as like the Change Up, where it like does not get its tone at all. Yeah. Like the tone management issues in the Change Up are like, it was just like night and day, really. Like this one has like slight issues with it, but not really. Like
it's a tepid movie.
You can forgive it. Like some of the plot holes, for sure.
You're right. His whole in the intro when he's the killer, you're like, oh, it's just kind of bland, boring. You're like, I don't want to watch Vince Vaughn do this. So when they quickly switch it over, you're like, oh, good, it's gonna be fun.
It's so much
and
better.
The way he just runs, kind of little. Is it dainty?
So good, man. It is.
Is that what you would say? And then I think he oversells her character. With Millie, I think he oversells Millie a little more than she was doing, but that's still okay.
No, it worked.
Yeah.
Because Millie you kind of have to sell the physicality of her.
Millie was a little more humble.
Yeah.
Or when I say modest, like she was a little just more quiet, passive.
A little more toned down. But I think part of that, though, makes sense because she's in this crazy situation, so she's feeling differently than she ever had. And she's like, oh, shit, Yeah. But, okay, so what do you think, the director, what do you think he's going to do for his next like magical movie trope kind of thing? I mean, is there another thing like that? He's done time loop. He's done body swap. What else is there in that vein?
Well, I don't know. It looks like he had a whole bunch of like kind of horror sci-fi background. Is that all he does? I saw like a paranormal. I assume it's
like Blumhouse.
Yeah. I think he's gonna stick with his darker.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know. He's taken these kind of like genre tropes. Like it wouldn't be surprising if he was like, oh, I'm going to do like this kind of comedy horror Western or whatever,
Silence of the Lambs in space. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, would you see it?
How's that work?
I mean, it's just him in space. It's a space prison. And then Clarice, we had to send her up there with a lamb. And, it's the same movie.
Hang on. Are you just saying this because you want more Jodie Foster?
Why would I want more Jodie Foster?
Because you love her.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this.
I forgot I love Jodie Foster. I forgot
the principal. No, it's not Jodie Foster. It's just like
1,000,000% Jodie Foster.
Man, I gotta watch that movie again.
No, I watched it twice. It's not good.
What? I mean, like the
Freaky Friday.
The parts where she's in it, though.
I mean, she's good because she's a good actor. We should watch Taxi Driver. I've never seen it.
Yeah, we should. She's a prostitute in that one, and she's young.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
so when Millie's at school, like the first day, like before they swap, obviously, I thought, she's definitely going to kill those mean girls after they swap. That was my first thought is, that's what's going to happen. And I knew they were setting up, like, when the teacher was a fucking dick to her and the mean girls were, like, shitty to her, I was like, they're going to get killed when the butcher is in her body, you know?
You said it earlier, undeserved. Why were we supposed to think that she was such a loser? She didn't come off as one.
I don't know.
And she had a good group, but like she had very playful, like pretty friends. You're like, I know that's a cliche, but you're like, that's not a loser group. What the people she was with was not a loser group. Like that was not believable.
I don't know. Like,
and like they threw the drink because she's like the mascot, but you're like, she's cute. She's cute kid. Like I don't know.
We like Catherine Newton like on this podcast.
She's intelligent. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I guess the like high school like dynamics, like the like social dynamics of high school are something that we're so like divorced from at our age that like maybe it's just harder to kind of relate to that anymore.
Yeah, I don't even wear my hat backwards anymore.
Because that's how we were.
Know what the kids are up to.
That's kind of how we felt when we did Before I Fall. Remember, like because it was like everyone was just these cliches. Like all the main girls were just these cliches, and like I don't know.
Tell you what, I love a flamboyant gay man. Best thing at a party.
Oh, he's awesome.
Ever. No, the beginning with the "Hey Girl" license plate. I thought he was a little over the top with the dick with the fucking comedy, like fucking I like your big black wiener. Like I'm like, all right, just chill the fuck out. It was too much on the intro. Like if that was peppered in throughout the movie, it'd be better. But like
you didn't like it right off the bat.
Off the cuff, you're like, no, we got it. You're fucking nailing the stereotype. Fantastic.
Yeah, I thought he was really good.
No,
he
got better. That's what I'm saying. He got better. I think the intro, they're like, yeah, we're gonna really let him know that this guy loves dick. Like, all right. Settle down there, chumbo.
So, I really liked, and tell me what you think about this. I really liked the like urban legend aspect of it. That like they talk about like the butcher, this serial killer who comes on homecoming night or prom or like kills these teens. Like he has this history, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, is there something supernatural about him? Because obviously he's like trying to get that knife.
Well, clearly there's something supernatural about the movie, so you're more inclined to say yes. Of course, there's something supernatural about him, which is like, I was joking when I said the super strength, but really that does make sense that he would. That it isn't just this one-off like pair. Like, oh, this guy, there's a legend, so this guy fulfilled the fucking, or it was playing the legend kind of thing. And that yes, there actually is. He comes around every so often, kind of like a Pennywise or a Jason or Freddy, whatever.
Well, and doesn't it kind of also feel like they're setting up for like, oh, we'll do a sequel where 100%. We get more of that story?
100%, they're gonna do a sequel.
How do you do a sequel without Vince Vaughn? You know, is he coming back from the dead? Like, I don't know.
I always say prelude, but like,
he's just so good.
Yeah, backstory.
I think both the main characters. I think Vince Vaughn and Catherine Newton. Like, I don't want to see a sequel to this movie without both of them in it because they're both so good in it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, what you would do is do this movie again, but back in like medieval times, so you can say these are the ancestors and some shit, some dumbass shit.
I hate that.
But you know that would happen.
I hate
that. Actually would happen.
It's like colonial times, and they're having their homecoming dance. Like,
their belt buckle hat dance.
Legend has it there's a man stalking the woods, comes and takes you animals.
I hope there is a supernatural effect because I don't like that there's a legend, but all of a sudden the legend is just going on a mass murder. Like you would remember that, just like in Nightmare on Elm Street. There is people that remember like this horrific time. Yeah. So that needs to happen, and there has to be like a great forgetting or whatever as the years pass, because if not, then this is dumb. Like it's an urban legend that all of a sudden is very, very real. So hence him being a copycat. He would just be a copycat. I did think it was stereotypical that he lived in a drug den. And then the same thing with the, I'll suck your dick. You're like, all right, they're like borrowing jokes out the ass. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I think they just could have been. I think they could have veiled this a little bit better for my taste. But then again, I'm an ass.
I feel like
goddamn dirty.
I feel like
man.
It could have been a little more polished. But like, I mean, like I said, overall, I liked the movie. I thought it was fun. Yeah. Like it's almost like it borders on like a. This is why
What's the thing, Zach?
This is why I think that these little like these plot holes are an issue for us, is because it really straddles the line between like a turn your brain off, stupid, like
straddle the line, if you know what I'm talking about.
Like a turn your brain off kind of stupid like slasher fest, and like something that's a little smarter and has a little more to it. Like it kind of has one foot in each of those worlds, where like if it was just the stupid like gore fest, it's like, oh yeah, whatever, you forgive whatever. But like, because it has a foot in the world of the smarter movie, you kind of hold it a little more accountable for that, you know?
I do.
It's great.
You know, I kept wanting to make comments about how much wiping of the air you were doing during that little speech of yours, and I
come from the Miyagi school of talking.
I didn't want to bring it up, but then I did anyway. I'm sorry.
Better watch it.
You know what else I want to bring up is that during this movie, I fucking started laughing because when the kid was like, which was actually a big important point, when he says, hey, just set your clock at 5 minutes. I remember when I used to do that in my truck, and you would get so pissed. You're like, but you know it's ahead. What's the point?
Dude, yeah, no, my wife has the clock in her car set ahead, like 3 minutes, and I'm like, what are you doing?
It makes you
drives me nuts.
It makes you feel better. I don't do it anymore, but at the time I did.
It doesn't make me feel. It makes me feel like I'm late. Like I'm stressed because I'm like, fuck, I'm late. And then I'm like, no, it's 3 minutes. Like, I'm not like, oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
Stop lying about time's already made up. Stop making it more.
You know what else is made up?
Inaccurate.
Currency.
Yeah.
It's current. See? Fucking stupid. Current is the time. Do you see how I linked the jokes? I like jokes.
This guy, man, he's like a wordsmith.
Okay.
Okay, so they like Catherine Newton. She's like you said, she's the school mascot.
I took a giant break from taking notes. I just realized from where I stopped to where I started, I'm like, oh my god, that was like half hour. I fucking didn't take any notes.
So she's the school mascot. At the football game, she's like a beaver, and
leave it to her, right?
Yeah, so she's like waiting for her mom, who's like an alcoholic after her dad died. She's waiting for her mom to pick her up, and her friends are like, "Do you want us to wait with you?" And
Which,
she's like,
she's
"No, it's
kind
fine."
of an alcoholic, I guess. She was just drunk at that time.
Well, no, that's the whole thing. Is like she's drinking. They set it up earlier when the sister finds the wine bottle in the garbage at breakfast.
Yeah.
Who I like the sister too. I thought she was really good. I don't know that actress. I like her.
Oh, as an actor, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I'm not saying I love the character.
Whatever. That's what I thought.
No, I thought she was. I like the actor. I thought she was good.
She's a cop.
Yeah.
You like bacon?
Anywho,
he's a cop. Pigs.
Oink. So, goddamn. So, was that Gordy? Is Gordy here?
My name's Pinky. Don't call me Pinky. Go on.
What a shit movie.
What are you talking about? It's mine. It's great.
Know it sucked.
Would you fucking get to your point?
I am.
Oink, oink.
So she's like hanging out there waiting, and like, she's on the bench alone waiting for her mom to pick her up. She's like passed out, whatever.
The beaver, yeah.
Then she sees the butcher walking up to her. Her friends
Nothing's
literally
creepier than something that stands there then slowly walks toward you.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate pervert move.
It's that, and number 2 is like when you're like walking down a street by yourself and a cat jumps out. That's number 2.
No, I mean,
it's the jump scare.
Fine.
So she sees him and he comes up, and this is the whole like chase. He's trying to kill her. This is like the inciting incident of the movie where he chases her down. He tries to stab her, and as he's like going to stab her with like the knife that he stole,
the relic knife,
the
god above opens up. With his
the whole thing like
moon eye.
Yeah, and
did you like the graphics? What it was like Friday the 13th. At that didn't it do it at that moment? It was kind of like in Django when they do the Mississippi crawling across the font, I'm like,
that was strange.
I didn't like it at first, but I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.
Like,
I agree about Django.
The artist approach, all right, I'll respect it.
Well, so that's the thing, though. And this was kind of like had me questioning it a little bit because they were so like belaboring the idea that they had to like swap on Friday the 13th that like she's at a high school football game on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Which is like, no, that
it's
doesn't
always
happen.
Friday nights, right?
Always Friday night, which makes sense. Whatever. But they wanted the swap to happen on Friday the 13th so she would have a day at school to interact, so like once they swap. But I thought it was really interesting that the swap wasn't instant, So he stabs her. I thought it was interesting. Because I'm always looking for like, in the same way as like with time loops, when I'm looking for like what triggers the time loop, how does this happen? How do they get into the situation? Is there an explanation for it or no?
Well,
like
it makes
it's
you
the same thing where I'm like,
if it was at midnight when it expires, was it midnight was the changeover? So they were sleeping and just didn't realize that they switched?
Probably. That's what I would assume.
Is that the that's the answer,
that's what
right?
I would assume.
Because they both woke up as the other one.
As different people.
Now, right off the rip, one of my notes was she's pretty cool about having a 45-year-old dick.
I guess as like a teen girl, like realizing that you now have like a dick is like a novelty regardless. And like you saying Vince Vaughn is 45 is like so generous. He's like 55.
Is he?
Like he is an old man.
All right. Well, then imagine it's even worse and that you added 10 years to the dick.
Yeah.
Like it's not finely groomed.
Hang on, give me a minute and let me like really imagine this.
Like as you age, the balls and the dick morph, so it's just a conglomerate of skin
It's just a fleshy glob with like a hole in it where like a liquid comes out.
Hair doesn't make sense as far as where it is and why it's not in certain spots.
So it's like a bushy thatch of globular flesh is what you're saying.
Yeah. Imagine if like you had the superpower of the Wolverine and you have regrowth. But you're cutting
Healing
it off
factor.
real fast, so it's coming back and then like a scar.
So like you're a chef
way.
Who's really good. Well, no, he can't develop. He doesn't develop scar tissue.
You're dicing the dick off. Well, I said like.
Well,
so
look,
like
you want to go down this road.
What other superhero has the chicken skin dick where you keep cutting it, but it grows back grossly? What superhero is that?
Lizard.
Is that the
lizard from Spider-Man?
It's the butcher from this movie.
No, I don't think so.
Imagine that if instead of a penis, Vince Vaughn had a chicken head for a penis, and then you cut it off a couple of times.
So you know
grew it back.
You know what's
That's
like
what
funny?
It would look like.
I think it's funny that you mentioned in the opening, like watching Vince Vaughn walk away and saying like that's Vince Vaughn. Like you can tell,
kind of hunched over. Yeah.
It's interesting because I had noted like
when he runs.
Well, that too, but no, also like I think like Catherine Newton is really good at like embodying the physicality of Vince Vaughn. I think she plays that really well.
Kind of cavemanish. What do I want to say?
Kind of,
like kind of shoulders hunched forward,
a little jerky and kind of like stiff, but like no, she was so good at it.
That's how a man's body is, Zach. I don't know if you've been piloting yours for as long as me, but we're a little bit clunky.
I'm piloting it,
Bumblebees style.
Yeah, well, I was kind of like a little like a Jetsons spaceship. That's what I was thinking.
It seemed like Vince Vaughn probably only did a couple takes when he was running. I think that was probably it for the day. They got some Pedialyte in him, and he went to bed.
So every episode here we do we talk about like who played the other character better.
So you talk about us,
like which actor embodied the other character better. And in this one, I'm stumped on this one. I'm gonna
answer you. She played him better, but he was more entertaining.
That's an interesting point.
I don't think he played her better. I think he was entertaining.
He had a good take on it. It was fun.
As a young female, I think she was trying. I think she was trying to be Vince Vaughn, and Vince Vaughn was just trying to be a youthful girl, which is still okay.
Which is kind of interesting because that's kind of similar to Freaky Friday, where like what we said about the mom, where like when they first swapped the actress who played the mom, when she was being the daughter, she just seemed like a bubbly young girl. She didn't seem like
who played the daughter.
Joe D. Foster.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Thank you.
Creep.
Thanks for that.
All right, you want to get into these tropes a little bit?
What are they?
I'm sorry.
The freaksimiles.
I'm sorry, the freaksimiles.
The freaksamins.
So let's talk number one, internal monologue.
Nope.
No internal monologue. And I'm going to say this. Like, it's only the third movie we've done so far.
Yeah.
But, like, with each of these movies, I don't think we're going to find, like, another movie with an inner monologue this season. It just seems like
number one is internal monologue, and I don't think we're gonna have any more this season that are gonna have.
So it seems to me like Freaky Friday was like not confident in their concept, and like they weren't sure that it would work. They weren't confident in their actors' abilities to portray the other characters without those inner monologues.
I'm not going to write off number one.
It just seems like a crutch.
So soon. I still think it's going to come back.
I kind of feel like it's not gonna.
Well, that's okay.
Is it?
I mean, we can call it right now. We can just call the fucking show.
Well, that's the end of the season, everybody.
Call off our goddamn friendship.
So sorry.
Sure. You keep acting this way. Pretend I yelled at you really.
I'm going to call you up and sigh in your ear. I swear to God I am.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't.
Yeah,
It's kind of worn out. Do you want to go through the first 5 and then we'll take a break and go back to the movie and then do the rest?
I don't care. If that's what you want to do.
I don't give a shit.
Fuck you.
Oh.
Shitty significant other. No.
No, because there wasn't one.
Right. Important day?
I guess there was the boyfriend, but not really.
But he wasn't a boyfriend.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Important day. Yes.
How?
She's got stuff. It's an important day.
No, I mean, I don't think that's that important.
It's an important day.
Well, what stuff did she have? The project do?
The homecoming dance.
Oh well, I mean.
The homecoming dance.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll get real loud,
of course,
and squeaky about it. That'll
the
convince
homecoming
me.
dance.
I don't agree. I don't think it stood out enough for me.
Of course, it's an important.
I don't think the dance was that important to her. I don't think
it was.
No,
you're wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, then here, just fill out the rest of mine, and we'll go and listen to what you think. I'm going no. The problem is you've gotten so used to agreeing with me because you finally saw the light, and now you're trying to fuck. We had a week off, so you fucking wandered off into your own thoughts and thought you were right instead of being with me on the smart team. Team Smart Man.
I'm on Team Smart Boy.
Men's. All right.
Number 4
takes it in stride.
No.
Yeah. He takes it. I'm sorry. Well, Millie, Vince Vaughn is Millie. Kind of takes it in stride. He's like, all right, I'm a woman. I'm gonna kill so many people now, and she's gonna get blamed. Like he takes it in stride.
Yeah. The butcher takes it in stride. Millie does not.
Yes. So I still count that as like one of them does.
Holy shit.
He didn't seem like he gave a fuck. He went down for breakfast and then ate. Why did he not know how to eat
That
waffles?
was strange. I don't know.
Or
I think maybe that was
pancakes. Same
I think
thing.
maybe that was part of like trying to show his like otherness, that he's like he is this kind of like monster and not like a fully realized character.
Going back to the lore and
yeah,
legend.
maybe. I'm not sure.
I guess, but then sometimes he converses fine, so I don't know.
I said no because I look at that. To me, that freak simile is they both have to take it in stride, you know? Because I feel like there could be a swap where like one person did it intentionally and obviously they would take it in stride and the other person wouldn't. So that would be a no.
I'm gonna say that Millie did. Vince Vaughn's Millie did, and then Vince Vaughn took it in stride because he had a chicken wing penis. And he didn't seem to be bothered by it. I'd say yeah. I think in equal but different ways, they bypassed a big important point in his pants.
All right, so we're on to your favorite freak simile.
Fucks a kid.
Taboo seduction hits on someone inappropriate. I say yes.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn in that car. Where I'm like, please don't kiss them.
Oh, it was so awkward. I hated it.
Don't kiss each other. I was like begging. I'm like, no, this is awkward. Like even for your fucking careers, don't do this. And then they even tried to turn their heads to be less graphic. Yeah. And you're like, we know what you're doing. And then they came back and they showed it anyway. You're like, then why did you kiss all weird?
Yeah.
Oh, I hated it. Oh God, I
remember
hated it. Fucking, I've never seen something that unattractive.
Remember when and. You can feel free to not talk about this. Remember when we shot a short wherein your character was supposed to kiss another character, and your wife at the time was very unhappy about it. So we went to like great lengths to fake the kiss, make it look like it, and then she later didn't believe that you didn't kiss her.
I forgot. Do you remember that part? I remember later we got divorced.
That happened, yes.
So it didn't. I should have just fucking kissed her.
Yeah,
but. I forgot. Yeah, she got upset about that, didn't she?
Yeah.
Well,
she got upset about you shooting the thing in general.
I was a bit of a scoundrel. I will say that. Yeah. But yeah, I totally should have just kissed her and then pretended we were filming.
Yeah.
I should have just kissed her anyway.
Well, she's married.
And with a baby.
With a baby. He's so cute.
Shout out. Congratulations.
Laney, we love you.
Well.
That's number 5. So we did what you wanted to do.
Thank you.
What else do you want to talk about now?
Yes. Vince Vaughn, a fucking vampire, because she sucks on the finger blood.
No, I think that's just a creepy thing. I think that's just a creepy thing.
No, that. Here's the thing: if we're checking off boxes, that goes into is this guy a monster legend kind of thing that comes back every decade or whatever. That fits in.
Well,
fucking weird ass behavior.
Okay, no. Here's the thing:
how did he
get killed?
What do you mean? Who knows if he's dead?
Okay, but how did he get killed at the end of the movie?
Got shot.
Okay, vampires don't die from getting shot. Vampires need to be. Vampires can't go out in the sun.
Are sunlight bullets? Like
so they're like in Underworld.
Underworld, yeah.
Underworld's
UV
cool.
bullets.
Underworld's cool.
You want to watch Underworld?
I do.
Let's watch Underworld. It's such a fucking good movie.
It's so bad, but good.
I like it.
I'm into it. Anyways, yeah, no. I just think that like The only thing that would make it seem like he was a vampire is
garlic bullets.
Is the one instance where he sucks the blood, which is weird, but there are a lot of other tropes related to being a vampire that he like doesn't check those boxes for. So I would say no.
So let's say vampires are real.
Okay. Vampires are real.
And then
said it.
You just got a garlic clove.
Yeah.
And you put it in like, like a piece of PVC and you shoot it at them on the cheek. Like, let's say they're in high school. It would
hurt, probably.
Is that how you bully a vampire in high school? Is you just shoot the garlic and it hits them so it doesn't hurt them, but it's like, ew.
No, it would hurt them. But I think also
only a little. It wouldn't get stuck.
It would like
in them.
burn.
Yeah, just for a second.
Like, ow.
It's like a wasp. It's like the paper wasp you used to shoot. I don't know if the kids do that now. But
what you would do is you would get like a little mirror and like reflect the sunlight on them in class.
Yeah, just enough to torture them.
Yeah. We could be vampire bullies. We should write...
I believe in us.
We should write a TV series called Vampire Bullies, where it's like a high school where... No, it'll be...
It'll be sponsored by Kroger's. It'll be Kroger brand high school.
No, it'll be... So what it'll be is like an allegory for like...
Oh, you lost me.
For like integrating schools in like the civil rights era. But what it'll be is integrating vampire children in with regular human children, and the human children bully the vampire children.
I've got a spoiler. It's never going to happen. We're never going to integrate because they suck. Because I don't like them.
Because they suck blood.
I've always...
Why are you trumping at me?
I've always been the best.
Stop trumping.
I win.
I'm
a winner. Okay, sorry. Just practicing.
Cutting that. No trumping on the podcast.
I can't stop, though.
Well, there you go.
The poem reaction thing. When to prove herself that Vince Vaughn is Millie.
You were surprised that he like recognized it?
No.
Or that she had memorized the poem?
Well, she wrote it, so I mean I assume she would.
I've written lots of things that I don't remember.
She decided to go on so fucking long with it.
Yeah, she did the whole poem.
God. Like, he should have got it already. Like, it made me think
I think he did.
Made me think of it. Ember Rains, My Heart Beats There Too, or whatever the fuck it was.
Your hair is winter fire.
I don't care.
January embers.
My hair. That's not even my hair. So.
My heart bird.
Oh, you memorized it too? Jesus.
It's 3 lines. What are you talking about? It's nothing.
The poems.
From a book that I've read like 9 times. Yeah, I know the 3-line poem. I know the haiku.
Of course I remember the 3-line poem is very important to the subtext.
It was actually important to the text.
Fuck!
Hang on, let me push my glasses up. Yeah, that's what it sounds like when I push my glasses up.
I mean, I don't really have to tell him that I was pushing my invisible glasses up when you do and anytime you're doing that voice, you're pushing up your glasses.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got? You loved the poem then?
No, I thought it was fine. It was a little long, you're right.
Okay, it was a little
long, but whatever.
A little mouthy.
And that's why I was like, man, it's weird that she remembers this whole poem because, like I said, I've written lots of things that I do not remember. Lots of things. I've written songs that I've sang many, many times that I do not remember.
Okay.
Like, that's,
You should.
Huh?
You remember it.
I mean, they're not that good.
Oh. Well,
I write bad songs, is the point.
Neither was this poem.
Is what I'm saying.
Well, why don't you write them down, email them to yourself, and then delete it? And we'll be right back where we were.
It just seems like doing nothing with extra steps.
So that's all of life, Zach. All of life.
This guy gets it. What do you got?
So Millie's captured.
Yeah.
Well, Vince Vaughn is Millie is captured. At any point while there's this, especially if you're making a movie about it, at any point when you're in charge of watching the killer, would you just not do it and watch TV and make snacks instead and walk out of the room? At any point, is that ever a fucking good idea?
I don't know.
Whether you're making a movie or not, if your one responsibility is don't let this homicidal, maybe monster killer get out, would you ever just start watching TV instead of doing your fucking job?
I don't know.
Wouldn't
Probably.
you be anal retentive and just sit there and look at not even look at her, look behind her at her hands to make sure she's not escaping?
No, I would what I would have done is I would have duct taped her. I would have spent 2 rolls of duct tape. That's what I would have done.
I love that you thought of that too.
But here's the thing.
Why is rope always the go-to?
I don't know.
No, duct
I don't
tape.
have fucking rope lying around. I've got duct tape.
Duct tape.
No, but look. So I would probably try to. I don't know. I would probably try to normalize the situation, and maybe by like making snacks or watching TV or whatever,
that
might help me feel a little better about the situation.
You can't eat snacks. You're just doing it while watching her. You're eating your bowl of popcorn or whatever.
Well, but I got to go get it and make it. You know, I got to answer the phone call and hear someone ask what my favorite scary movie is.
Of mirrors.
I don't
set
though.
Up. I'm
a vampire.
You don't already have them?
I'm a vampire.
You don't have the garlic pellets?
I am.
It was right
bully.
fucking there. The kitchen wasn't that far away. Or you just sprint over and do it.
So
grab it and then run back.
Did you like when he came out as straight to his mom?
I saw it coming.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I just knew it was coming.
That reminded me of a story that one of our mutual friends told me the other night. She said that her 6-year-old daughter came out to her teacher as straight.
Nice. Good.
She said,
I feel like I know who it is.
You know who it is.
Yeah.
She said, some girls like boys, some girls like girls, some boys like boys. I'm a girl who likes boys, so I'm straight.
I know exactly who it is. I love every second.
I loved it so much. I was like, that is perfect.
Yeah. I'm very happy with that.
Right?
God, I'm sorry, that threw me off.
It's so good.
I know, it is great. You know what I didn't need in this movie, and I don't know why they tossed it in there, was the rapiest fucking frat boys. Like literal, gang banging rapist fucks. I get it, because we don't want to feel anything when they die. Do you need to do that? Most people don't like frat boys anyway. They already are a good target, especially for this movie. You didn't need to make. I was just bothered. I don't like.
You know what?
I don't like watching shit like that.
No, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, but I'll say this:
like you have 3 holes and there's 3 of us. You do the math. I'm like, no, okay, no, I don't. This isn't a family movie, but this is not. This.
I was close. Okay, so I was close to saying that we feel that way because we didn't know guys like that in high school.
Yeah.
But
if you did.
Well, no, but what I'm saying though is like I was about to say that, but then what I kind of realized is like as men, maybe we did know guys like that and just didn't know because they're not going to act like that to us, but maybe to women that they're like preying on, you know, like that's the thing is like,
I definitely think that I knew, not hung out with that all the way, but hung out with at a time with guys that would do that. What I'm saying is it's very triggering, and I think
it's tough,
that was
man.
kind of unnecessary for this kind of film. Like, yes, there's a time and place for that, but I'm like, it was very bothersome.
There's an interesting school of thought that I kind of think you've like just stumbled into here, which is that like, a lot of like male writers use rape in fiction as like a catalyst for something, whether it's like a woman empowering herself or like the threat of rape or like there's a whole history of this, and that it's like there is, I think, currently like a movement to like get people to stop doing this, to stop like writing a character has been raped as a way to show that she can overcome adversity and like that kind of thing.
I think that's dumb. I mean, that's too much, but
I don't know, man. Like it really kind of reduces it to like if there were an equal number or if there was a similar number of stories where men had been raped and had to overcome that, but like there's so much of that, like this brutal,
a lot of men
like
have been raped. Like that's what
absolutely, but there aren't a lot of stories about it. That's not used in fiction, and that's the point.
I'm against it if it's just overdone. I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't say you need to stop writing.
Well, I think there's a lot of like, and I think a good example of it is like Stephen King. There's a lot of like his characters, and he has like, I don't know, kind of an okay history of writing strong female characters.
Yeah.
But a lot of what he does, a lot of times he does use like rape in his stories as like this awful thing, which is like, I get it.
Once again, the way it's done here is a one-off. That's why I don't like it, because it's just cheap heat. It's like you don't need to do that. Like if the whole thing was based around, that's okay. That's why I'm saying I think it's dumb to say like get rid of it entirely. No.
Right.
I think on something like this, it's completely unnecessary.
No, but I think what you're saying.
We already hated.
I think what you're saying is exactly. But I think where you're coming from is exactly the same place. Where you're saying like it's unnecessary to throw in a rape to like make this a thing. Where like if it's a story about a woman being raped,
that seems
it's different.
To be
you know,
a common theme in horror movies, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It's this like trashy thing, and that is kind of like. the point of this whole idea is that like
because that's the worst thing that you can do past murdering somebody. So except for Poltergeist. Poltergeist, like for eternity of hell and ripping apart bullshit. That's pretty.
I've seen Poltergeist, or maybe
it's
been a long time.
I'm sorry, not Poltergeist. Hellraiser.
Oh, I haven't seen Hellraiser.
I'm thinking what's the thing called? I don't know.
I've never seen it.
I don't care. As someone, if you know what I'm talking about, just write in, email it to yourself, and then delete it because I don't give a shit.
Write and email it to yourself. Like so, they would like CC themselves.
Because nothing matters in life, as we've already.
Are you a nihilist now?
I believe in nothing.
Nothing.
I believe in nothing. God, so that did lead to the chainsaw dick scene, which also I'm like, all right. Like it really wanted to show a young blonde woman chainsawing a dick, but I overkill.
That was the big like gory like
yeah.
I
don't know, there was a lot of gore in this, but yes, you're right. That was the more blood-soaked gore moment.
So I would like to say something, and this is like completely uninformed, but like the guy, the boyfriend guy, I can't remember his name, who sets his watch back or ahead.
I
or whatever.
also forget his name.
He has an Apple Watch.
Okay.
I don't know that you can set it ahead on an Apple Watch. I don't know that you can.
I'm aware.
And I have an Apple Watch, and I thought maybe I'll try this, and then I thought, no, I'm not even going to play around with.
No,
change it.
I thought it too.
It syncs to your phone, which syncs to the cell tower.
No, I got the answer. It was a Kroger brand smartwatch.
Oh shit!
So you can reset those as you need to.
Well, then it all worked out.
Do you want to jump into the rest of the?
Yeah, we can crank out the last ones. But I'll say this: like, even talking about like plot holes, like the reason that it's fun to talk about plot holes with this movie is because the rest of it is good. Because it's a good story, it's a fun movie. It's not like The Change Up where we're talking about plot holes or issues with character or tone. It's not very good. You know, it's fun to like critique a little bit on this like movie that we actually enjoyed versus one that we didn't.
I like this. I automatically like this one because it's the only horror one that we're gonna do. So automatically it stands out as this is gonna be independently good just because it's a different genre
for sure. Yeah.
Yep. So we have your favorite. Explain to an outsider.
Oh, of course.
Oh, of course.
Of course they do it.
Well, Vince Vaughn.
Well,
as Millie does. So, I don't know what I wrote for 7. So I forget what it is.
Cause chaos in the other's life. Of course.
Of course. Because the serial killer just had a great time. Fucking.
Oh my God! I just remembered that fucking when the butcher in Millie's body murders that fucking mean girl by putting her in like the freeze thing, and then she shatters.
I didn't know what the hell that was until she shattered. I thought it was like a heater. I thought it was like a what you put clay pots in, like the
like a kiln.
The kiln, yeah.
Well, so it was down in like the locker room. So I was like, this is like
something athletic. So I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I thought it was a cold thing.
But another one where I'm like, bullshit, it wouldn't go that low.
It wouldn't go that low, but it was.
No, it was
cool.
unique.
I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun kill.
It made me think. Honestly, it made me think of the microwave in.
Haggard?
Super, but not that one. Not Super. What's the other Super? Kick-Ass. It made me think of that death scene.
Oh yeah,
when the microwave with the heat them up.
That was the to dry out the wood.
Yeah, so it's just a reverse.
That's a kiln. That is a kiln actually, because that's what 2x4s like. That's the reason that like 2x4s today, if they like get wet, will get like warped and shitty.
Like they do drugs.
Whereas like
wet.
no. Whereas like back in the day, it was all like the wood was dried over time. They let it like natural air dry. And if it's kiln dried, it can like with moisture, it can get back to that warp that it had before, you know?
Can I ask you something?
I wish you would.
At any point at all.
You want to talk about lumber?
Was there a sign on my back that said, please fucking tell me about timber?
Look, you want to come in here with your badass little questions, but you don't want to tell the listeners
I don't
that
like
you
the
asked
cuckery.
me before.
I don't like the fucking cuckery you're doing
You
right
don't
now,
like to...
Because you're fucking me over left and right.
You don't like to tell the listeners that before the show started, before the mics heated up, you said... Look, man, if you can find...
Mike's heated up.
Yeah.
Like the
that's pretty good, right?
Fucking thick
pretty
conversation,
good, right?
you piece of shit garbage, man.
So you said, look, man, if you can find any way to work in some lumber talk, I really think it would, like, juice up the show. I did.
number 8. God damn it.
They both say they want to trade places. Nope. They don't.
It just
happens because of that Mayan pyramid that they're on top of magically.
Yeah, what? I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, it just makes me think they're going to make something that fills in the backstory.
Yeah, so remember what I was saying about the medieval or the colonial? It'll be Aztecs.
No. Okay.
When is Aztec time?
I've got it. It's a fucking
800 BC?
It's Indiana Jones. It's an Indiana Jones where he's like an archaeologist is like adventuring. It's like an adventure movie where he's trying to get that knife and then eventually and it's like, I don't know, 60, 70 years ago. And then you see like a little eventually.
That's what Indiana Jones.
That's where the knife comes from.
You're saying that's what the new Indiana Jones movie is? It's actually the sequel?
It's a freaky crossover.
Got it.
Yeah.
So new perspective.
I said yes.
To whom?
She gets a new perspective.
She had appreciation, but not, well.
I think she gets a new perspective. Because
I'm leaning no. I know he did.
No, so here's my argument for new perspective. She was this kind of timid, wore these kind of modest clothes, and then when he's in her body for a day, he dresses her up all cool, puts her in that jacket, looks badass, and kind of
came from.
It was her sister. She got out of her sister's closet.
No, I mean his she's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
If he's a slum bum now, what does he care if she's cool?
I don't know. But I think she got that perspective of hey, I can be more outgoing. I can kind of, not be as buttoned up. So I think she got the new
because
perspective.
All the jocks and bullies are dead. Of course she can be free.
Yeah, she can be the cool girl.
I see your point. I'm still saying no on my end.
Yeah.
Polar opposites, is the answer.
Yeah, I said yes.
So you know what I got over here?
What?
I got a 50-50.
I got a 60-40.
Yeah.
So we got a 55% movie. This movie is 55% freaky.
I'm surprised that it ranked that high. I thought watching this, I'm like, no, it's not gonna check these off.
What's funny is it didn't come across as much in the point breakdown, but for Groundhog Day, we had a lot of movies that were like, oh, this is very much playing with the ideas of Groundhog Day. This is like we talked about Palm Springs being like a spiritual predecessor or successor to Groundhog Day, where that's what the next generation is going to talk about with their time loops. And I feel like we're seeing the same kind of stuff with the body swaps.
I already know what that version will be in this series, but we can't talk about it. But I will talk about it next time.
Okay.
When we address it, I will talk about it.
Next time. Not next time, but when we get to it. Okay.
When we get to it. That's what I'm saying. As in another time than now.
So I like this movie. Did you like it?
I don't need to watch it again.
Same.
But it's
maybe in a couple years.
It's worth watching. If I know any horror movie fans, I would definitely say, "Oh, watch this movie. It's interesting.
It's a fun one."
And once again, because of the gory kill scenes, I'm like, "Oh, you'll like it."
Yeah, horror
either
fans
way, you'll
will
like it because it's just a horror film.
And I think it has appeal for non-horror fans as well.
And anyone that does a Vince Vaughn, that likes Vince Vaughn, or does I don't know, enjoys his characters, I'd say watch this because he's
really good.
It's an interesting approach on a slapstick style of Vince Vaughn.
So, yeah, for sure.
It's worth watching. I don't need to watch it again, but it's worth watching.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Yeah, I feel the same. I think in a couple years it might be a fun movie to watch in October, just a fun it's Halloween time. Let's watch a throw on this fun movie.
In a couple years in October, just remind me of it.
Hey Siri, remind me to watch Freaky in a couple years in October.
My phone's off. You can't. Oh, you have a phone.
Set for September 30th, 2023.
Thanks, Siri.
That's in 2 years. Thanks.
Fuck yeah. You won't have
September 23rd in 2023.
You won't even have that mic. You won't be able to tell anybody nothing.
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you buttons.
These mics heated up.
Stop it. All right.
So, next week, we're going to... Wait, did you have something?
No.
Before we launch into this?
Nope. Just looking. Just staring at you.
You want to look at me? Is this is this like A Star Is Born where you just wanted to get another look at me?
No.
Are you Bradley Cooper and I'm Lady Gaga? Are you?
No.
Am I?
No.
Are you? All right. So next week we're going to do Jumanji, The Next Level. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, which is the 2 in the series. The twos.
I mean, technically 3.
If we count,
if you count it, I don't really know.
It does hint towards it. We can call it 3. We can call it the 3rd.
I don't know if it's 3 or 2, but it's the second one with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and we're gonna do that one.
We got some body swapping going on.
Yeah, I think that'll be a fun one. I'm excited because that is a movie that I haven't actually seen,
and I have, but I forgot it.
Which is
not surprising.
I always like doing movies that we haven't seen. You know, sometimes we have ones that are like, oh, this is a great movie that I love, and this will be fun to talk about, and it works out. But like, I don't know.
You had a preconceived embryo.
I think some of the best ones are the ones that we've never seen before, like the Time Crimes that we mentioned earlier,
I love
or like
when we do stuff
District
together.
B13 was a lot of fun.
Zach. I love when we do stuff together too.
Do you remember Point Break? That's a movie.
No.
We did it. We saw it.
I won't talk.
And we talked about it. All on Keystone Copycats. Did you like that?
I mean, only a little.
It was my radio voice.
But thanks, everybody.
But we're not on the radio.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, thank you.
For coming around.
And thank you for listening this week. Tell your friends about us, and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what we do, you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us online at KeystoneCopycats.com. We're at Keystone Copycats on Instagram and Facebook, and at Keystone Copycats singular on Twitter, because there's only one of us on Twitter. It's not me. If you got something to say, you can email us at KeystoneCopycats@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 513-239-7682. We'll talk about it on the show. Don't forget to check out Sinclarity, A Dinosaur's Tale, a podcast that I produce every Friday. And until next time, I'll be Zach and he'll be
Cleese.
Yeah, that's different from what he said at the beginning. He's two different people. Oh my God, it's a body swap.
Bye.